Hello guys and welcome back to another video. I am doing a speed build today and it's not anything to do with my redesign of Oasis Springs. I felt I'd done a few of those and so it would be good to actually have something a little different. Instead, I'm actually doing a video of one of my older builds. I say old, I mean it was done in December 2018 and it's only just being uploaded, and the reason for that is I did the build, I uploaded it onto the gallery, and then I was going to edit the video and forgot. Basically, life got in the way, as per usual. So I've decided to do it now and also change how I edit a bit. So please tell me if you like what I do with the video or whether actually you just think it's a bit naff, which is fair. There's nothing wrong with thinking it's naff. You're more than welcome to. Anyway, garden centre. So this was something which I was going through a bit of a kick thinking actually there's a lot of things in The Sims which, whilst you have Windenburg, you don't have some of the more British aspects. And one of the things that is quite standard to have in the UK is garden centres. Now I know obviously that seems silly, what on earth you talk about. Stereotypical British garden centre is sometimes a bit different to ones which you get in other countries. It's not just about the garden centre, there's also just a myriad of different little things that you can buy there. Obviously you can get your pet stuff, you can get your plants, but actually quite often you'll go in and you'll be able to get yourself a pair of curtains as well, because they'll just have a mixture of lots of different things. Often they have a cafe. So what I've done with this is I've gone with sort of the more stereotypical look of a garden centre, so the ones which you'll find quite easily and are predominantly just plants, but there's a few little things in there like little statues and stuff for people to buy, and there's enough space that actually you could probably download it and make it your own. So at the moment I'm just working on the outside. I went with this very long and thin building because I wanted it to be, you know, quite pretty, quite sort of simple on the outside, but I also wanted this giant area out the back of which I'm going to have all the different plants and things in, because an awful lot of going to a garden centre in the UK is getting outdoor plants. So that's what we were working on. So at the moment I'm doing a tiny little walkway. These are all based on experiences I've had in different garden centres, so I'm trying to base it on what they look like. So one of the ones that is close to me, you go outside and then you've got this little walkway for a bit, like I've just done there, where you can go out before you get wet. Essentially, if it's raining, and if anyone knows British weather, it is nearly always raining. So carrying on with the actual build, currently we're just finishing off a few little basic touches. There's not actually that much to it. It's got a nice tiled floor, so when the soil goes on the floor and someone has to come and clean it up, it's all nice and easy to do. And now we're actually going into the outside area. The thing with this build, actually more than anything, it was less of the building that was the issue, it was more of the putting all the stuff into it. Now I don't know what happened with this build at all, and I don't know why it ended up doing this at all. All I wanted to do was put a tiny little border around the different areas so I could have walkways and then your plants in the middle, which to me seems like a nice, reasonable thing to do. But it just wasn't working at all, no matter what I did, except for if I did it from the original original one which I'd started. So it was a bit of a weird thing. I still don't know what happened with it at all, or why. Maybe one of you can tell me why that happened, why it would only let me lay down more of the fencing if it was connected to the original fencing I had put down. So this is where we're starting to put the plants in. Outside you will find a large variety of different things that you can buy. So you can buy trees. Obviously you can't buy fully fledged like several feet high trees, but you can buy the saplings, the starts of them, and then you can also get your shrubs, your plants, flowers. Basically, you can get a bit of everything. They often have a section where you can have a look at things like outdoor furniture and just a selection of other different outside garden things. So if I remember correctly, I think this might have been from before Get Famous came out. So maybe it was even before December I did this. Anyway, one of the things I have is that I don't have all of the stuff packs, don't have all of the game packs. The only thing I do have all of is the expansion packs, because I always felt they were worthwhile. They added so much new content that actually it was worthwhile getting them. But it does mean, in a lot of ways, I've got quite a limited choice as to what I can put into my garden centre. The reason I'm doing rows of the same plant is because, again, that's something you find. There are rows of exactly the same plants, and then you go onto another row and you'll find something else, and they do bundle them together, obviously, because it makes sense. Anyway, we've without having all of the different stuff packs and game packs, I'm very limited on what I can actually put into this. So it's quite a lot of base game sort of plants and furniture and items once we get inside that you'll be able to buy. But then again, one of the best things about being able to download something from the gallery is that the main structure's there, but something like this, you're able to easily change into the stuff that's on sale just based on what you've got in your game. So if I don't put enough of something in particular in there, you can do it. The other thing is you could actually, if you really wanted to, put this in as a retail spot and set it up as your Sims business, selling all of this. I mean, granted, there's going to be a lot of money needed just to get it, but that's okay. It's not a big problem, really. So now we're coming up to the design of the inside, and it's not really the putting all the stock on the shelves sort of designing the inside. At the moment, it's just putting the actual shelvings in so that everything's there, and it's literally just going to be hours and hours and hours and hours, or at least that is what it felt like, of putting stock on shelves. I'm pretty sure I didn't put things on everything because it did get to a point where I was just so fed up of putting things on shelves and using move objects and everything else that actually I was just like, no, not doing that. That's it. It's gone. End of. So at the moment we are sorting out the different areas. So this is going to be the more of the plants area, so where you're going to be getting your potted plants and things like that. Over the other end is going to be where you get your, actually you can get some flowers over there. Not flowers, but the actual seed packets. Don't know why I put them over this side, but there you go, that's what I decided to do. But this is more of the pet area. Like I said, you can get lots of stuff to do with pets in garden centres. In fact, one of the things I really like about going to a garden centre is often you're able to find small animals to go and look at, like rabbits and things like that. So that's what I like. So this is just finishing the outside, and now it's filling up all of the shelves and stock. So this was something I did a little bit different. It's a bit more stop motion-y, and it took forever, but I do think it looks great on how everything just sort of pops into existence. But obviously it gives you a good idea of, one, how time-consuming everything was. It took a lot longer than just it popping into existence, I'll tell you that much. But it also shows you how it looks as it gets filled, and it's just a bit more interesting than watching me struggle and change my mind and having obviously a little bit of a meltdown over how I was going to finish it. So we're just coming up to the final pictures. If you have liked the build, you can get it on the gallery. You can also watch me stream on Twitch, looking for Tales53, and please subscribe, give a thumbs up if you've liked the video. Bye!